What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Toma Todito Boxing Show. We are here at the new facility, the new location for Boxing Fit University in Tucson, Arizona. Coach Chris Gonzalez, thank you for opening your doors to us once again. And Kenny de la Rosa, once again, last time I saw you was earlier this year, and it was after your Del Sol Promotions match with Thomas Valerio.
Yeah.
What has gone on with your career since? Let's dive right into that.
Yeah, okay, just dive right into it. Well, yeah, after the fight, I mean, you know, kind of life just started happening, and unfortunately, you know, like some unfortunate events did happen where I had to, you know, like take a break, you know, for my mental health, and you know, I did lose like a little. Well, I did lose focus, like, you know, not because of the fight. It was just like of the events outside of, you know, boxing that, you know, one can't really, doesn't really have control over, you know, and yeah, so I just had to adapt to that, and yeah, now we're back.
Mentally, you needed to step away and reset.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, how do you find yourself? Because you had a match, you're probably 2 weeks removed from your last matchup. It ended up being a draw.
Yeah.
So you're 4-2-1 right now, 2 matches into 2025. And mentally, how do you feel right now? Emotionally, spiritually, back on the grind?
Oh no, yeah, definitely. Well, after the Valerio fight too, I did go to Japan, and while I was out there, you know, we stayed on the grind. Like I stayed, you know, working out there, you know, individually. Like I didn't get to visit any gyms out there, but I still, you know, just stayed, you know, preparing my body and getting my mentality good also. So when we did come back, you know, like it was like I never left.
That's really cool. So stepping away is huge. I think we talked about it with you, Coach Chris, last time, the mindset. And stepping away sometimes pays off huge in the long run, because you step away, you check out, you gather yourself, and then you come back into it. And I think that's the last time that we interviewed, right? Must have been, maybe May or so, maybe April. We were looking forward to Kenny's next match.
Yep.
So let's talk about your gym. New location, seems bigger to me. I don't know, is it bigger or smaller than the other one?
No, it's actually a little bit smaller, but I think it's the high ceilings, open space.
Seems like more wide open, yeah.
Yeah, so it did free us up a little bit more. I like the location. It feels a little more of a boxing gym feel too. So that's was a big plus on moving over here too. So
on the business aspect of it, when you move locations, does it affect your current following?
Some people it did, but not too many people. But mainly like the amateur team, it didn't affect the amateur team or the people competing, just because, like, you know, they're committed to the team, and it wasn't too far of a drive. I mean, I think it was 8 minutes difference from where we're used to be at. So,
and I think there's less. I mean, there's always traffic in this area, right? But I think you're closer to the freeway, so it's even more accessible now.
Yes.
Than where it was. So it's actually a really, really good location that you got here.
Yeah, we're a little
very
close.
unassuming.
Yeah, no, we're close to the freeway. We're close to downtown, and we're actually a little bit closer to the university as well. So I'm excited for the change. I know moving takes a little time to continue to build up, but we're on the right path of moving.
Did that lapse affect you at all? When you guys were down in the transition during the move and all that, did it affect you? Did it sway people away, or was everybody all hands-on helping the gym to transition and get back up and running quickly?
Yeah, the lapse did have some effect on some people, because I know sometimes people that weren't here either were looking for a way out, so they're like, they use it like as an excuse of canceling their membership or stuff like that. But, you know, in all reality, the community was great. Everyone showed up to the park when we were doing boot camp styles. So, you know, it's like actually the community came together very well. Actually, like I said too, I was actually very proud of the amateur team. We stayed working and staying busy at the park, and almost every day everyone continued to show up. So that helped a lot with.
How big of an amateur team do you have right now? How many fighters are actively competing?
Actively competing, 10 or 12, and then on the team total is like almost 16, I want to say. So almost everybody's competing by now.
And since we're on that topic, last week you ended up taking away pretty much winning the weekend, right? You
Yeah,
ended
we
up having
got the team trophy.
The most victories.
Yeah.
How many fighters ended up winning, and how many fighters competed?
So I had 5 competing.
Okay.
3 of them won. We got one of them that got the best bout.
Give them a shout out. This is their chance by name.
Yeah,
and what did they win?
So we had first fight was Irving Guerrero. He's 11 years old. He fights at 65 pounds. It was good because we moved up a weight class. Took a kid around the same age, same experience. He got the victory in a very technical aspect where he really just showed all his skills. So I was actually, that was probably one of my favorite fights of him because he had to really put on a boxing clinic and be on his A game, and because the other kid was really tough, great fighter himself. So that was just a fun fight to watch, and just to see him pull everything together that we've been working on was a great performance.
At 11 years old, how many years has he been competing already?
He's on year 2, so about a year and a half.
That's interesting.
But he's a little showman, we call him, because he likes to do all kinds of little fancy moves, and he's all about it too. So it was really neat to watch. Then we had a kid named Christian. He got a loss. It was a split decision, but I thought if the ref would have gave him the knockdown, because he legitimately knocked the kid down, but they waved it as a slip. So if he literally got that knockdown, he would have won the fight. But it was we fought some kid from California.
What division was that?
He fought at 80 pounds. So we
80 pounds, okay.
First time we're moving up too. So got to get experience with an 80 pounder. But it was a great performance too. He did a lot, but I think there's room for improvements, more room and improvements with his fight.
Yeah, and at those ages, I mean, if the older fighters like Kenny, right, if they're finding improvements between fights, imagine at those ages they're barely coming into their own. It's probably even bigger when you see it from one fight to the next. It's a larger scope of improvement, right?
Of course, there's bigger jumps and bigger things to work on, and he's I think that was only his 6th fight.
The leaps become a little more noticeable.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really cool. And then from Christian, who was next?
Oh, kid named Omar. He got his first victory. We worked very hard for it. He left everything on the line. So it was, great for him because his parents were there. Got to fight in town, and we fought another kid from Tucson. So it was just a tough fight as well. So a lot of fun, and I was very proud of him that he got able to put on the gas and just do everything we worked on, and really focusing on that mentality too.
What weight class was that?
He fights at 90.
90. Okay, so we're going up.
Yeah.
And the next one, who was at 4th?
His brother, Alex Mendez, 18 years old. He fights at 115 pounds. Kid went in there and got the first round stoppage.
Wow.
Just didn't even want it. I seen the kid fight before, so I kind of already knew his speed advantage was going to be there, and but he got him out in the first round. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting us going a few, maybe 1 or 2, but he stopped.
At 18, is he partaking in just competing for the sake of staying active, or does he have aspirations of turning pro also?
He's doing it because he wants his brother to continue to do it and stay busy of doing some sort of sport. He's doing it for fun.
That's cool.
And because he works a full-time job too.
And he's good at it.
And he's good at it. Yeah. But you never know. Things could change in mindsets. Right. And he has a bright future in amateur boxing. Like I said, he's actually very fast, and he hits hard. And he's one of those people too. He don't play nice. So when he sees you hurt, he's trying to hurt you more.
That's cool.
So.
That's really good. And then your last fighter?
Yep. Bout of the night was to our he works here for me. His name's Isaiah. He's a heavyweight. He decided to go. His story is really neat though. So there's a lot of, he got locked up around 24. So he had a huge break from boxing, had to stop. He's 36 right now. Or 35 right now. He just turned 35, and he passionate to do amateur boxing and, get a pro fight down the road. And, you know, he's worked very hard for this fight because we came out facing a guy that was 6'4", 6'5", and he's 6 foot. So it was like we faced a real giant, and the guy was athletic, 225, just athlete. And it was like we weren't expecting that because usually in the amateurs you don't really get that.
Yeah.
But hey, and then the guy caught him with the uppercut, dropped Isaiah, but Isaiah got up, and then he put on a show, and he even almost stopped him in the last round. So
Wow.
yeah, so it was just like,
Are these 3-round fights?
yep, they're 3 2-minute rounds.
So how are they judging these fights? Is it 5 judges or is it point scoring, or 3 judges traditional?
So there's 5 judges.
5 judges, yeah.
So 3 on the side and then 2 on the main table.
And then it's a how do they base their scoring? Is it accumulation of landed or?
So there's it goes off of technique. It goes off of who's actually applying the pressure, who's actually willing to engage first. Also, it goes through like points landed, and then so that's the main things they're looking for. Knockdowns are not like the same as knockdowns in the pros. Knockdown is just like a 1 point, like a jab landed.
Yeah.
So it's not, it's not worth the same. It's just to make sure they're also just to make sure the fighters are safe and they're not doing anything. They're okay.
I know back in the day, the Olympic style used to be that they accumulate your landed punches from one round to the next. So then you would end up with like 80 punches landed by round 3. Is that how it's still working?
No, they don't do a point
now?
system. No, they do like kind of like pros, like 10-8, 10-9.
Oh, okay. So not the cumulative.
So 10-9s are just it was a close round. 10-8s is like you're a little more dominant, and then 10-7 is like you're dominant. So
congratulations, you guys pulled out a great weekend. Who was the gym that you noticed had the most, that gave you the most competition? Who did you guys end up facing off against the most?
There?
Yeah, at the tournament.
No, we didn't face the same gyms. I mean, we faced, I think the gyms we faced was Hidalgo from Tucson. We faced Tucson Boxing Fit, Coach Eric Wood's team.
Okay, they were the host venue.
And then we faced a team from California too. So it was good.
That's cool. So how many gyms all together showed up?
Probably 7 or 8.
Yeah,
so it was a good amount of gyms. So
good type of competition, good level of competition.
Oh yeah,
that's really good. Let's jump back to your pro fighter, to Kenny. How did you see his fight from when I ran into you guys with Thomas Valerio, and then you guys had a fight 2 weeks ago that ended up being a draw? Was it kind of like a step back from where he was building up from where he left off with Valerio, or how did you gauge it? Was it just a tough opponent? Give me the differences and what happened from between the 2 fights. One goes a loss, one's a draw. What's happening? Where's the catalyst? Where does the catalyst need to come in to make that leap?
Catalyst means a shift for us is like really understanding when we're going up to being opponent, being on the B side of the card because
it was a last minute fight, right? It was like a week,
and then and then go from there.
Do you have a good level of experience that you've been exposed to from your amateur days? What style gives you the most trouble?
What style?
And I don't even know if you should answer this because if they watch this, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this is how we gotta fight them."
No, I mean,
but then maybe you could prep for everything, right?
No, I mean, like I've honestly, like I feel like I've seen, like every style you could honestly like think of, like in boxing, and I feel like that really helped me, become a, a good fighter right now. Obviously we're pushing for great, but just since I've been sparring, pro fighters, and some world class fighters like during my amateurs, so that's really like helped me, with the experience level and. Not really shy away from any smoke like that.
The good things that you got right back to it, and you guys are staying busy.
Yeah.
So you come back now. This is your 3rd fight since your comeback, right? Next week, and then you're looking for another one in September. If everything goes good, you're probably going to squeeze out maybe one more fight to close out the calendar year. And
definitely.
That's really good. So style-wise, you run into counter punchers, you run into sluggers. More than likely, next week. you're probably going to run into a slugger. Usually those up-and-coming fighters are, and with the record of 6-11, it seems like it's a car crash waiting to happen. Usually when I see records like that, and then they tend to be more of that test of what you run into in lower promotional events or up-and-coming fighters, journeyman type fighters. Is that what you guys are anticipating, or are you guys just prepping for everything? Let's just work on you instead of prepping for a specific opponent?
Just working on ourselves, honestly, because I mean, like, how do you say it? It'll play out, you know, like, and like I said, we're good. We have a really good communication once we go in the ring. Like, once we go back in the corner, like, we talk, you know, like, we have like, hey, like, what are you seeing? Like, what can I do different? You know, or he'll tell me something he's seen, and you know, and that's what's really like helped us, having that good communication, you know, and adjusting to any style, for sure.
Coach, let's jump in with you again. I'll ask you the same thing. What have you noticed? Which styles give Kenny the most trouble to date? Which ones where are you focused at on building them up?
One I see the most focus on is building his inside fighting. So it's like, you know, so when it gets close, you know, you just have to focus on that. But a lot of people have trouble with that because, you know, the thing is about Kenny, though, he's very smart. He's going to outsmart a lot of people just with his boxing IQ. And, I mean, just obviously minor adjustments needs to be done. But, like, when people get inside, you know, Kenny's smart in there, too, because he ties up when he needs to tie up, and he's not afraid to do that. But it's just, you know, making those small adjustments of, like, shortening up your shots, being a little bit more relaxed in the inside. So that's really the main problem. But, like, him taking shots and getting shots on the inside doesn't affect him because he's tough.
You guys have been together for several years now, and basically your whole career, right?
Yeah,
that you guys have been together.
Well, it was 2 years or 3?
I think it's been like 2
years.
And in that span of fights that you guys have been together, you notice his tendencies. Obviously, you guys know each other really well. You guys communicate well. Mm-hmm. How do you notice the leaps that he makes or the setbacks? Like when you start telling him, I don't know if you told him like, hey, you're starting to do this again, or or you're starting to go into this bad habit again, like fix it, like this.
Yeah, I'm very particular with my coaching. I'm very like, it needs to look like this, be like that.
Like very specific with.
Exactly. Okay. Just your technique. And I'm very like, always like, you need to be sharp, need to be sharp, need to be sharp. And if he's doing something like lunging a little bit too much, you know, it's like, we need to cut that off. You know, if I realize like he's not, even sometimes like his holding, like I'm like, you need to learn to not hold right there because there's opportunities on the inside for you to land some good shots. Because Kenny is strong, so like that's where he gives a lot of people problems, even though they may have more experience with them, but he's strong in there, so his power and his thing holds him well. And I think too with Kenny with his mindset. He's not gonna shy away just because you're good and because you hit hard. He actually like looking at to prove himself that he's better than you. So that's the great thing about, you know, coaching him is that I'm able to be harsh with him and brutally honest. Be like, dude.
And I ask this because usually we talk from the coaching point of view of analyzing the opponent.
Yep.
But we never really talk about the coach analyzing their own fighter.
Yeah.
One thing's to adjust to the opponent. The other thing is, hey, my fighter's not responding well to that
this
style, or he's the one dropping the ball, and that's an easy style that he knows already.
Exactly. So there's things like that, like where you got to think about, like, you know, my mindset goes with Floyd Mayweather, right? Floyd Mayweather said, I don't know how much I believe it, but he said he doesn't really study tape, but he would focus on just him and his style. So when you understand that you're focusing on your athlete and building their faults, like you got to understand where they fall short as an athlete, or else they're just never going to grow. They're going to do the same mistake. And if you can't be brutally honest with them, be like, you need to fix this, we need to fix that, we need to adjust here, then you're not going to go anywhere except for making the same mistake.
Yeah, and you guys are at that perfect moment right now where you're still starting in your career, you're starting to put on a decent resume together, this is when the leaps need to be seen, right? In order to step up into the next level.
Exactly.
And start scratching the surface of the next level fighters. I ran into Coach Brad Carlton. Recently, I had a chance to talk to him. He was telling me about one of his former fighters several years back. And he mentioned something very interesting to me where he says he thinks that when he built up his fighter, that his fighter exceeded his own expectations of what he could reach, the levels that he could reach. And when they started offering, I think the big fight that they were going to offer him was going to be during the COVID years at the Bubble in Florida.
Yeah, I remember Alves
ESPN.
Rodriguez.
And
yep.
I was with Weddle, Chris.
With Weddle. And so when he's like, I almost feel like he shied away once this opportunity came, like the doubt came in. And then we go back to the mental, right? The mental aspect of it. Did he exceed his expectations of what he thought? Was he better than he gave himself credit? You know, and that mental is huge, right? Because you guys are building up right here versus having a tangible, like, hey, we reached this level. All right, now we got to perfect it and then get to the next level, scratch the surface, perfect it to where you're comfortable with it. So is that something that you've noticed? Is that something you've seen in other fighters, maybe in the amateurs? And is it something that you look to avoid with Kenny as you're building him up?
Well, every life is going to happen. That's the first thing. Life is, going to throw you different scenarios and you just don't know what's going to happen with your fighters. But if you guys both have the same track and same mindset and understanding the same purpose of where we're trying to go, I think that's where it's obviously the mutual relationship.
Communication.
So, exactly, communication. So if a fighter is like, I'm going to go this far, but the coach says, hey, we're going to go this far, then obviously you may have that disconnect. But yeah, it's at the end of the day, it's really up to the fighter on how far they really want to go. Where I see Kenny is he's already had a lot of the fighting on his own. So in his amateur career of, having to do a lot on his own, and where he was like, kept moving forward, didn't let losses bother him, didn't let anything shake him really. And those are the kind of athletes are going to keep pushing through, even though during those difficult times. I mean, think about some fighters, they take that first loss and how they react to it.
Right.
Or they take a draw like where it doesn't go to where it's like, and they're like, oh, wow, this is not fair. So, whatever. But we have the same goal. The same goal.
And I think having that laid out, right, the outline, the blueprint, having it laid out, having the plan of what we want to do, where we want to go, and the steps. Because you mentioned to me when I talked to you last, I was curious. You mentioned I think they offered you Kermel Moton at one point, right?
Yeah.
And you were like, no, it's too soon. Well, that's different than the fighter fighting with the demons of like, can I beat him? Can I not? When you know that physically you're not there or experience-wise you're not there.
Exactly.
Big differences, right?
Big differences, yeah.
So when you're there, those are probably challenges that you're like, nope, you got to buckle up and take the challenge and not shy away from it because you're there.
Yeah, because he's already told me multiple times he's looking at the top 140 pounders and see them as competition.
Yeah.
He's looking at Teofimo. He's looking at, people at the top at 140. Who's that the boogeyman at 140 right now, knocking everybody out?
Subriel Matias?
Yeah, so he's like, I want to fight that dude. Like, so it's like we know we're not there yet, but those are people we have in sight, and we understand we got to build the levels, just like what you're saying. We got to scratch this level of the pros and then perfect that, go up to the next level, scratch it. So when we get to that level, we're ready and we know what we're expecting and know what we want. And
I think you might have keyed me in on something. Are you guys establishing at 140 now, not 135? Are you guys starting to move your focus?
He's always fought at 140. So.
Has he?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I always thought you were going to be competing at lightweight at 135, and you were doing catch weights that they were offering you almost every fight.
No, what's it called? The first fight I wasn't. It was at 140 when I fought Joseph Rivas when I made my pro debut, but I overtrained. So I ended up weighing in at 135. So that's why, like on my box rig, it says light instead of what's it called, super light. Yeah, so that was the error right there that I did. I just, like I said, like I was doing a lot of stuff, like on my own or just not doing it right, so it was, I just overdid it, and yeah, I wasn't supposed to. Yeah.
So you got, who are the main champs at 140 right now? You got Teofimo Lopez, Subriel Matias just got a title once again, Richardson Hitchens, and then WBA is, it's not Pitbull anymore, is it?
No.
Oh, it's Gary Antoine Russell because he beat Rayo, right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So out of the four, organize them for me, 1 through 4. Who's the best? Who's number 4? From the boxer's opinion.
From them, I think Gary Antoine Russell, I think he's number 1. Just because he has that dog that Teofimo don't have. And then I'll put Teofimo second. Richardson Hitchens, I'll put him third, and then Subriel Matias, I'll put him at 4th. Just because like he's gonna, cause that's the thing about Matias, like he just walks you down and just tries hurting you, and but every time, like when he's fought some good like boxers, that's where you see the cracks, the vulnerability that's there, and
I feel like your list is different, Coach.
Let's see coach's list.
Coach, organize them 1 through 4.
So what were they again?
Teofimo, Richardson Hitchens, Subriel Matias, Gary Antoine Russell.
Yeah, I still gotta put Tio at first, just because I think he's just super athletic. He hits hard, and he's a little showboaty. So it's like I think he has the right mindset of it.
If you get the right Teofimo on the given night, you're gonna have trouble.
He shows up when it really, really matters. Obviously, you've seen him when he doesn't show up. So those are kind of where he does, that's where I guess his little kink in his armor then is that when he's overconfident.
Yeah.
But when he knows he's at the test, he shows up. So
I would agree with you. Teofimo 1.
Yeah.
You went with Gary Antoine Russell number 1. Who was your number 2?
Tio.
Tio. So I would put Richardson Hitchens number 2, just based on boxing ability. Who would you have?
Yeah, probably Richardson, just because he does have more experience than the other guys. Gary just got his title, and he kind of, you saw him struggle too. So it's like, I think the more experienced people are always going to be the most dangerous because they're experienced. They've been there, they've done that. So Tio and Richardson's are experienced seasons. Fighters been in there with some of the best names in the sport.
And then 3, who do you got?
I put Gary because I think Matias is just a puncher. Like, I think there's a lot of technical where you could vulnerability, but he has that power, so that it's just always a one switch thing. But when you get a guy like Gary, who is athletic, who has IQ and can box, he's going to probably beat the guy with just a punching ability.
Yeah, and I'm on the fence with those two because a lot of people will think this is just a come-forward fighter with Subriel Matias, but what people don't see is like with the Puello fight, they hit him with everything. Mm-hmm. And the durability is what ends up playing a mind game on the opponent, right?
Exactly.
They start checking, they're like, I don't know what else to hit him with.
Yeah.
They keep hitting him and they hit him with the best punches and the guy's still there. Eventually, mentally, you start wearing out.
Yeah, but that's where like the people like who, like a Bud or like a Tio, like you're going to hit them and they're going to stay there, but it's not going to falter your mindset either.
Right.
And that's where
you just keep working.
Yeah, you just stay working because that's where you're going to beat him because that's what he's relying on. It's his toughness and his power. So
that's very good. And then who do you see as the up and coming, the blue chips, the prospects behind the champions at 140? Who are you scoping out right now?
Who am I scoping out? I mean, there's a few. I mean, I know like
you got Pitbull, Rayo Valenzuela that's competing there. I think George Cambosos is probably on the back end of his career now.
I mean, George Cambosos,
Oscar Duarte, I think he's looking pretty good, right? He's competing at 140.
Oh yeah, he just fought Kenneth Sims. Yeah.
So both of those fighters are really, really good, really interesting. That's
Yeah.
another come forward fighter, really strong.
No, yeah, definitely. No, honestly, like, I think one that's a little bit more, you know, that would be good. Actually, I would want to fight Emiliano Vargas for sure.
That's another one.
Cause I know, like, how do you say it? Like, he's blowing out everybody. You know what I mean? And I feel like right now, at least, he hasn't really fought anyone that's like stepped to him. You know, or at least like that it is also like mentally tough too. You know, and like I don't know. Yeah, like I feel like
You feel like he hasn't been tested yet?
no, honestly, yeah, like I feel like honestly, like I would give him like a good fight where I could honestly beat him, like for sure. Like if when the opportunity like does come, like yeah, for sure.
I like that. I like that. When the opportunity does come,
Yeah.
it's not if, but it's when.
No,
That's
yeah,
great.
Yeah.
All right. So what are we looking forward to next fight? What are you looking to improve? What are you looking to get out of next week's fight?
And just you know, just stay calm. Like I said, like just be me. You know, because last fight that was definitely not me. Like, you know, I did have little demons. You know, like where I just, like I said, I just wanted to try and, you know, and hurt him. But obviously, like, I looked ugly too, though. You know what I mean? That made me look, you know, like really ugly, like stylistically. And now I just have to, you know, like, obviously do better than that for sure.
Is ring rust real?
Ring rust? Not for that fight because I didn't even sit down. You know what I mean? Like conditioning's been good. You know, like strength also like has been good. So for me, no, because I mean when we got back from Japan, literally like not even like the next week. I think like a couple days later, like I came back and we sparred. We sparred Junior from Reyes's and we went like 10 rounds, right? It was like 10, 6, 7 rounds. 8 rounds. Yeah. So like, yeah, like it was like I felt like I didn't. It was like I never left. Like I said, just because I stayed training out there, stayed running, stayed shadow boxing, and yeah, just stayed determined and focused.
Nice. Well, tell your fans, how do they reach you? For the people that continue to see you through this channel, how can they reach out to you? How can they support you?
Yeah,
you got merch now.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then we just dropped another one like a day ago. Yeah, so you can get the new merch on itrboxing.com, and you can follow me on Facebook, Kenny De La Rosa. Instagram is _Kickapoo. And then I don't know if you want.
Yeah, absolutely, Coach. Now we go to you. Close it out. What are we looking forward to next week? You as a coach, what are your goals? What are you trying to meet for next week, knowing that we have a potential fight in September, right, that you mentioned? So
yeah, I'm looking forward to like getting back on relaxation with him, on getting his punches flowing, just a little more relaxed, not forcing anything. Also just, you know, getting back onto the simple little things like, you know, more jabs and, you know, developing, just go back to his style. And obviously get back on the winning side of the track. So looking forward to that. And then looking forward just, you know, for the future to come. I think, you know, Kenny has a bright future. We've been sparring a lot of great fighters lately. So that have been helping us, pushing us, making us sharper. So, you know,
close out the year with a good win streak.
Exactly.
That's what we're looking forward to. How do people come train with you, Coach?
Yeah, come follow us at Boxing Fit University in Tucson, Arizona. You know, come train with us. We have a great squad. We have a great pro fighter right here, and we have a great little amateur team. So
that's awesome. Well, thank you guys again. Thank you, Coach, for opening your doors. Any last words? Any shout outs you want to give to family, friends?
Yeah, just, you know, thank you to all my family and friends that keep, you know, keeping up with us and following, and obviously, you know, like helping us with like donations and stuff when we need it. You know, thank you guys so much. You guys don't know how much that means to us. And yeah, we're just gonna keep, you know, we're just gonna keep going and climbing up the ranks for sure. Thank you guys.
Awesome.
love
Thank
you
you guys
guys.
for having the show here again. And Kenny De La Rosa, Coach Chris Gonzalez, thank you guys. And we'll do this again shortly.
Thank you for the interview.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. It's my pleasure.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure. And I'll see you guys here hopefully after the next fight and as we prep for September's.
Definitely. Yes,
Hey,
sir.
you got it.
Hey, and don't remember, guys, God loves you guys. You know, whenever you're dealing with depression or mental health, you know, just always know that, you know, you can go to him and, you know, trust that he's always with us in our hearts.
Man, that's beautiful. That's the best way to close out right there. Thank you guys.
Thank you.